Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a gaming strategist here at YouTube, and today we're doing a channel checkup with Alice from the channel Alyska. So Alice, can you tell us a little bit more about your channel and what type of content you make?
So my channel is currently about gaming, and I mostly do gaming walkthroughs that are around 40 minutes to an hour long episodes. Sometimes I'll throw in a review or a gaming vlog where I go to gaming conventions like E3 and Gamescom.
Cool. So do you have any particular goals or things that you're aiming to accomplish with the channel right now?
I feel like my two main goals currently is definitely to appeal to a broader audience. And my second one is to at some point in the future have a complete channel rebrand.
Awesome. We can definitely talk about that. Do you have any strategies when it comes to writing your titles out?
With my titles, I always want to include the game, basically, and the part of the series, in case people want to search for a certain part, if they finish watching part 16 and they want to find part 17, so I include that in there.
Rad, so that's great. One of the things that you've done well in the past is looking at your Monster Hunter series. The first episode of that, you have like a really broadly appealing title, which is "This is my new favorite game," I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I, as someone who doesn't play that game, wouldn't necessarily need to know anything about the game to want to click on that video. I know it's going to probably give me some level of like intro about what the game's about. I'm going to get a lot of your opinion. For your highlights, lean more into those broadly appealing titles. And I would also say for your episode 1, also try to lean more into those broadly appealing titles. The other thing that I'm happy you said is you included the game title, which sometimes people forget to do. And the reason that this is really important is we will tag that game alongside your content. So the cool thing about it for you as a creator is if I'm really interested as a viewer in this game, I can find the game page and potentially find your content off of this game page.
I had no idea that existed.
Yeah, so it's a great thing. It's super easy to discover content this way and to discover new creators. So just making sure that you have some level of like titling around the game in there, or even if it's in your description, is enough for it to be picked up by the system.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your thumbnail strategy right now.
Honestly, my thumbnail strategy has varied so much through my time on YouTube because I've just obviously tried different styles, realized it hasn't worked, and then gone to something else. So I've tried to make mine stand out a bit more, where I've cut out like the main focus of the game and put a highlight around it, like made my like image of myself bigger without seeming like I have an ego.
It's a perfect balance, right? No, so I think that's a really good point, and I think you do a really great job at having a consistent theme across your thumbnails, and that's something that we definitely recommend. So there's kind of two ways to think about that, especially in the gaming space, is thinking about having consistent branding in your thumbnails across your series. Also doing it among games. So like my thumbnails for BioShock are gonna look very different from my thumbnails for Sekiro, and you do have those similar themes there. But the one thing that also tends to come up a lot in gaming is it's really easy to have a thumbnail that is overwhelming. Any thumbnail you're making, take it and shrink it down really, really small and see if it's still visually appealing and it's still clickable. Even in the gaming space, we see that most viewers are watching on mobile devices. So although these thumbnails look great to us on desktop,
on Photoshop, but they're like huge.
We want to make sure that those are going to look good too when I'm just like sitting on a bus scrolling through on my phone. So the next thing we want to jump into is we want to take a peek at your analytics and look a little bit more into a click-through rate. So do you know what click-through rate is? Did you ever look at it?
No, I've never really been on this page, so no.
Okay, cool. So what we're gonna look at is we're going into the Reach Viewers tab of your analytics, and we're gonna look at click-through rate. And what click-through rate is it's showing you, essentially, the amount of people that are clicking on your video after they've been exposed to the thumbnail, whether that's on search or on suggested or in their subscription feed. And click-through rate does a lot of great things. One, it tells us a lot about how appealing a video is. So if we come in here, if we click on this, we click on see more, it's going to give us a list of your videos with their associated click-through rate. Use high click-through rates as an idea of these are appealing videos from both thumbnails and title perspectives. When you're looking at this too, kind of vibe out your baseline. So when we were on your main page, we saw that your click-through rate for the last 90 days was about 4%. So as you're refining your titling and your thumbnail strategy, see if you have videos that really exceed that normal baseline for you. And when you do, look into that and see, what did I do well here that really resonated with an audience and made them click through? So your channel name, are you trying to rebrand there as well?
Yeah, like completely. I rebranded around 8 months ago. My channel name was just my normal name. And I felt like in the gaming community, you need to have like this sort of nickname to be like well known.
Pretty standard.
Like a catchy one.
Yeah.
That people could just easily mention to their friends and stuff. So I changed it to Alyska. I didn't really think about it because obviously Alyska is a state. So obviously trying to find me in the search bar is going to be more difficult than someone with a really unique name. So I think I definitely want to change my channel name.
Okay. Totally fine. That happens a lot with creators, especially in the gaming space. It's just like this tendency to make your gamer tag your channel name, and then you grow up for like 10 years. You're like, what have I done?
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of.
I've made a terrible mistake. So what do you have an idea of what you're thinking name-wise?
I mean, I didn't want to change it too much because obviously when you completely change your name, then your search might go down completely. You have to build all over again. So I was going to change it to Alyska, which is a mix of my first name and the current channel name.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good one. So the reason that I like that is oftentimes when you're making a big channel name change like that, the main concern is it's like gonna confuse your viewers. They're going to log on one day and be like, who is this person? What is this content?
That's what happened last time. They're like, what?
Who have you become?
Yeah.
So what is nice about that name is it's not that different from your actual name. So you're not gonna worry too much about alienating your audience. That being said, definitely let them know that it's coming.
Through a video or
you can do
community tab?
A mix, totally a mix. So like community tab's a great one to do. Mentioning it in some of your like upcoming videos is also a good thing to do. And just kind of like get them in on what's going on and make them feel like they're kind of a part of the change. But if you're making a really big change from like Alaska to like Wyoming or something, I would say like in the interim, as you're like making that branding transition, have both names that live on the channel. And then after like a couple months, like get rid of the other one. That way it's not as much of a shock. I don't think that's as like necessary in this case because it is so similar.
Okay, that's great.
So it looks like right now that you're uploading mostly walkthroughs. Is that something that you want to continue doing, or do you want to bridge out into other content as well?
I think I actually want to go through a channel rebrand at the moment because I've been doing walkthroughs for so long and it takes so long to get through one game. So I feel like I really want to get more creative with the content that I'm making.
So what type of gaming content are you thinking of like bridging into? Are you thinking about more highlights? Are you thinking about how-tos, or?
I wouldn't do how-tos because I'm not that great at games.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to do game reviews. I've done a few in the past, but these videos take so much time to go through all my footage, make all the points, script a whole video. It takes a lot longer than doing a walkthrough. So I feel like it's hard to balance entertaining my current audience and then also bringing in new people and sort of doing what I want to do and what I enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. So have you heard anyone ever talk about the Hero Hub Help framework?
Yes.
You have? Okay,
Yes.
so in case people don't know what that is, Hero Hub Help is a way of like thinking about your content strategy. So help content is going to be your content that is really searchable. It's generally evergreen. We then have hub content for you. What that's going to be is that's your bread and butter, and that's your walkthroughs, right? Like that's what your audience is there for, and that's what they subscribe to watch. And then the last thing that we want to think about is hero content. And traditionally what that looks like is content that has a lot of mass appeal and is broadly appealing and generally takes a lot of time to produce. But what I kind of want to reframe that for in the gaming space is going to be content that is again broadly appealing, might not take that much time to produce, but it's going to help you bring in a new audience. So for you, for these bigger walkthroughs, that's not necessarily going to be those big shareable moments, but taking a live stream and cutting it down into a highlight would be a best practice to appeal to a broader audience.
I have actually done that in the past with videos, and it's taken some time, but my audience reaction was honestly so worth it. And sometimes they even still bring it up now about my past highlight videos.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Definitely lean into that more then. So had a long conversation today. What do you think you're going to kind of take away and incorporate on the channel moving forward?
I'm definitely going to make more short form content. So any live streams I do, I'm going to edit it and make it into highlights because I feel like that really appealed to a new audience and to my current audience. Definitely want to do a channel rebrand because now we've spoken about it, I feel way more confident in doing it. Before I was a bit on like the edge. Yeah. But now I definitely want to do it. And I think check out my analytics more. The click-through rate thing was really helpful. Yeah. I didn't know about it before, so I'm definitely going to use that in the future as well. Yeah, well, I'm sure you're not the only one. So it's a good thing that we touched on it. But thanks so much for hanging out with us today. No worries. Thank you for having me. Yeah, and thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube Creators channel and then let us know what you thought about this video below. But thanks for hanging out and we'll see you guys later.